Oh, come on, you were expecting that to work? Okay, so I love this series. The LEGO video games for the PS2 and the DS have been some of the best that I've played in quite some time. And I'm proud to say that I'm a fan of this series. Ever since Shuki showed me the LEGO Star Wars for the PS2, I've enjoyed playing the Indiana Jones, the Batman, and all 6 of the movie versions of this platformer series. With all of the hidden items, unlockable characters, special areas, and things to do, I always spend at least 30+ hours playing these games. And I know how cool the 3D effects on the 3DS can be after seeing Super Street Fighter 4 in all its glory. So I was really looking forward to seeing how LucasArts used it with this game. And I gotta tell you, I'm pretty surprised with what I saw. But not for the better. While LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars keeps with all the aspects of all the other games, it does nothing to spice up the genre. The graphics are subpar, and the 3D effects seem just secondary. Well, here, this is what I'm talking about. The 3DS is a more powerful system all around, and yet the graphics for this game are the same as the DS system ones. So why aren't the graphics any better than the DS? It's just putting out a game quickly to meet the demands, and while this is a good game, it sadly falls short. Now when you turn the 3D effect on, you get depth and distance. I still marvel at the 3D effect, and I must say that these look pretty good. When the image goes to a horizontal view, it makes it very difficult to register the 3D, but otherwise it looks decent. This is a game that is really what people thought would happen with the 3DS, that they would take some game that didn't need any 3D effect and they would just slap some on. And it's true. Slap. Slap. Just a little slappity slappity. Okay, I'll stop now. Oh sure, the scrolling words now actually go into the background. Whoopee. I really want companies not to worry about forcing 3D effects on titles for this system and just concentrate on what they can use. Like the processing power. I would have loved to have seen better graphics, perhaps even flowing into the bottom touchscreen. The gameplay is as it always is, fairly solid. The animated graphics, while not state-of-the-art, are still nice and silly. I've always liked how they brought the ability to convey information from the LEGO instruction kits to the games. Anyone of any nationality can understand it. And it has all the hidden parts that you have come to expect from a LEGO game. Unlockables, hidden items, mini-games, they're all here. And part of the fun of these games is going back to previous levels and attempting to gather up everything. This title is like all the others, a completionist title. And I personally like those sorts of games. The story is pretty fun as well. In fact, I really enjoyed watching the characters unable to talk, thank God, as they expressed frustration, joy, and even sacrifice. And I kinda did like how the bottom screen was used to interact with the surroundings, either to cut through a door with a lightsaber, or seat yourself into a cannon to take out the enemy. But they all seemed like there could have been more. I mean, there's a lot of space that's not being used for anything. I don't need to slide down the touchpad when I can just press a button. And that's what you do. Once again, it's the story of a company that's presented with a new technology, or in this case an established technology like the DS touchscreen, and doesn't have any intuition to see what it's capable of. What they could have done is when you break an item and use those Lego parts to create a bridge or something, well, you could allow the player to choose one of several things on the touch screen. And perhaps there's a way to manipulate something on the other side of a wall with a force, and you could use that with the touch screen. Come on, folks, the DS tech has been around for several years. Surely you can find something to do with a lower screen by now, right? I mean, right? I think that the major reason for some of my gripes are that I really think that the people at LucasArts didn't take into account the power behind the 3DS. It's more powerful than a Wii, and the graphics are still mediocre, and they just look like upgraded DS graphics. I've never been a big fan of the LEGO DS graphics in the first place, and so it's very disappointing to see nothing done to spice up the way that they look. Storyline. The storyline here follows the Clone Wars Season 1 and 2, and while I haven't seen these shows, I really liked the storyline here. 9 out of 10. Graphics. This is where I'm going to be harsh. This is a 3D title. The 3D is good, but the graphics are poorly upscaled for this particular console. 5 out of 10. Music. The music is just as good as the other games, which is good. 8 out of 10. Gameplay. The good thing, it's the same old gameplay as always. The bad thing, it's the same old gameplay as always. 8 out of 10. Replayability. This is the shining point of all LEGO Universe games. You will play to 100% the game. 7 out of 10. Price and value. The 3D is meant to be a selling point. It's not. Wait until it drops in price, or just buy the DS version. 5 out of 10. So, for a rating, I cannot honestly give it any higher or lower than a 7 out of 10. I won't give it any lower because it's a good, solid LEGO game. Even though there's nothing new in the gameplay and the graphics here, I actually really enjoyed myself. I can't give it any higher because it really doesn't do anything remarkable with the 3D ability of the 3DS or do anything to freshen the series. I'm afraid that we've done all that we can with all the LEGO Universe games, unless they do something spectacular with the LEGO Pirates of the Caribbean that's due out for all the consoles and handhelds in May. But I am a bit worried that they'll continue the 3D effect like they did here, half-hearted and lazy. But I always keep an open mind, and I hope for the best, so here's hoping.